Day, everyone. It's Amanda here with your February 2018 RuneScope. This month, I will be using a new deck that I got over the holidays from my sister, the Wonderland Tarot, which I've been wanting for a really long time. It's by Chris Abbey and Morgana Abbey. I love it. So we'll be using that in conjunction with the runes for your reading this month. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please do click the subscribe button if you find that I'm connecting with your energy and the messages that are coming through are resonating with you. That way, whenever I upload my new videos, they will go to your subscription feed. You can also tap the little bell to set up alerts if you would like to be alerted whenever I upload new content. Be sure to join me for part 2 of this video over on my Vimeo channel. I will be pulling one card from Nature's Whispers Oracle cards by Angela Hartfield and Josephine Wall for your spiritual guidance. Also, it's Valentine's Day, so your 2018 love readings are also over there for you to check out. I did use a deck that does contain nudity and sexual situations, though, for those readings. So heads up, for those of you that that's not your thing, you may just want to listen to the audio on that and maybe not look too closely at the pictures. So I've been looking for years for a good love-based deck, and I don't know, they're all just a little fluffy puffy for me. I haven't really found one that I connect with. If you want to recommend one, please leave it in the comments. That would help me out. I will check those out. Maybe you could help me on my search. So yeah, that's over there. Also, your 2018 career and finance RuneScope is over there too, on Vimeo, to give you a more specific look at that area of life for you in 2018. But all of that being said, let's jump into your February RuneScope. Hey Gemini, your February reading is already laid out here because I recorded the beginning while I was pulling the runes and laying out the cards, and then the camera just shut off and it hadn't recorded at all. So you're gonna see that this kind of jumps in right to this first position. You're not missing anything because it had shut off right at that point. So just wanted to remind you to check out the video for your rising sign as well to get additional messages and information. These are general readings, so I'm connecting with different Geminis throughout the reading. You can get more clarity sometimes from your rising sign. The only way I can connect with your specific energy is if you schedule a private consultation with me. I do those on Skype. They are $70 for 30 minutes. The 1-hour New Year's readings I will have available through February 28th if you would like to do that. Those are $130. Just contact me at my email address to set that up. But now on to your choppy in the beginning reading. I apologize for that again. But still, at least it didn't cut off that part. Thanks for watching. On to your reading, Gemini. Sorry about that, Gemini. I have no idea what happened. The camera just shut off for no reason. Anyway, 5 of Oysters in reverse. So this is the 5 of Pentacles in other decks. So you may be trying to get some money together for a trip to relocate in February. And I mean, you may not be doing it in February, but you want to do it later this year because Yera is here, which is literally the rune of the year. So there are plans that you want to make. There may be something that you want to do around the house, and you're trying to get the money together, or you're wondering if you're going to have enough money to do that. So you're trying to get into a more stable position to do that. Some of you may be looking to buy a car or pay off a car or get a car loan. Yera can sometimes mean bureaucratic stuff. So yeah, contracts with banks, loans, things like that, paperwork, buying and selling vehicles, or relocating, or travel. But yeah, you're trying to do it so as not to break the bank. So you're trying to get the money together, trying to save the money. So it's coming up as a challenge though in February. So maybe you are, you know, you're not sure if you're going to be able to do it when you want to do it. Or maybe you're like, well, we might have to put that off another year. Or there may be, you may be trying, maybe you are regretting a purchase you made last year. Maybe you bought a car last year and you're like, oh man, you know, that was too much. I shouldn't have paid that much. Or I don't maybe I can refinance this. I'm just, yeah, seeing refinancing. Or some of you, maybe you're going to be going away to college or going back to school at the end of the year, and you're trying to figure that out. You know, you may be going back in the fall and you're trying to save up or trying to figure out, am I going to have to get loans? Where do I want to go? A lot of you, like, where do I want to stay here? Do I want to travel? Do I even want to stay in this country and study? Yeah, a lot to do with transit, travel, relocation. Some of you may be thinking of relocating because maybe the job opportunities pay more in other locations than where you're currently living. Maybe you've been looking at that online, researching that, and it's like, God, you know, the salaries for the same job that I do are much higher in this city than it is here, or this country than it is here. So there's something to where you may just be, you're trying to figure out how to make a big shift or change, or a big purchase, maybe both, or how to deal with a big purchase maybe you've already made. I don't see you having financial difficulties in February. I'm just seeing you trying to anticipate them is what I feel like is going on here. Now in the present energy, so this would be end of January going into February, we've got the moon. Let's see what's coming through with these. Again, another travel or relocation rune. Ewas here. Well, the moon is about secrets and things that are hidden. You know, they're behind the veil. So there may be something that needs clarity. It may have had to do with an argument or a disagreement, because Ansus is here in the reverse. This is also my internet rune. This could have been a misunderstanding that happened over text or online. And I think Awaz is saying here, like, you have to go see this person and talk to them in person, or you have to, you need to kind of either reconvene and not talk through text, or you got to figure it out. You're going to have to go physically somewhere or meet somewhere to work this out or talk this out. Because, yeah, something was going on. But what was said was not what was meant. It was unintentional, and you could have been on either side of this, Gemini. Others of you, it's just clarity about, again, where you want to move to. Do I want to buy this car? Somebody may be giving you biased advice. Like, I mean, you know, and it may be unsolicited advice even. Just, you know, oh, well, I wouldn't buy that car. That's too fancy. Or that's way too much. Or, you know, or I would move there. Why would you want to move there? You know, and you know, you got to consider the source, right? Is this coming from someone who is experienced in those things, or, you know, so you always have to consider the source here. Because whenever the moon card comes up, I would pay attention, if you follow astrology, to the new moon and full moon periods in February, because there could be significant events happening on or around those days in the month regarding big shifts and changes and clarity. Something needs to be revealed, a secret unearthed. And it could be to yourself, Gemini, that you've got to, you know, face up to something or deal with something that maybe you've been avoiding or not wanting to talk about, not wanting to face. An argument that you had before, you know, maybe a few weeks ago or even last year that you've been trying to avoid dealing with, what came up. You could be dealing with it here at the beginning of the month or the end of January. Now, the help that's going to be available, you've got the 8 of Hats. So that's the Cups suit in the Wonderland Tarot here. So 8 of Cups. So there's yeah, again, another card of leaving, moving on. And, you know, the cups are emotions. So it could be like, I'm leaving behind this situation. I'm gonna table this for now. Or, you or someone else could be running away from dealing with something, but maybe that's best. But there's disappointment coming up here, and selfish behavior, not willing to put in the effort, someone. So your help would be anybody that's treating you that way, like they don't want to put in the effort to fix this. Like they're not going to come meet you and talk, or they're not willing to hear you out, or they're not willing to apologize. And maybe they were the one that was being, you know, weird, or lied to you about something, or maybe they're the ones that started the argument. And so the advice would be to just, you may need to leave that person behind, but we can't always do that if it's a family member. If you can't do that, then tabling the argument for a while, maybe just give them their space. You know, say what you need to say, but if you're going to say it in person, and then, you know, move on. Leave it. Maybe they just need some time. But the essence of this is to leave someone behind who is selfish, immature, and has disappointed you. Because Wunyo is, yeah, I mean, it's the rune of joy, but in the reverse, it's the opposite. It's, you know, you expected a lot of someone, and you know, they disappointed you. For some of you, maybe this is just realizing that, you know, maybe I expect too much from this person. I'm never going to get it. So I'm just going to stop expecting it. Maybe it's the expectation that it'll help you to leave behind. Maybe this for some of you is like, you know what? Don't expect anything from this person. You know, don't have any expectations with this person or this situation, because they're never going to deliver, or it's just never going to be rectified. They're never going to apologize. They're never going to come to their senses. That's going to be the help to you. Whatever you can't fix, or you know, you can't make people accept apologies or offer apologies. We can only control ourselves and our reactions to other people. So for you Geminis in the month, whatever isn't working, or whoever isn't owning, or whoever is, you know, using excuses or trying to get out of things, you just got to leave it behind. Now Gemini, again, these energies can always work both ways. So, I mean, if you are the one who someone said, hey, you know, you owe me an apology. You know, you really have to think about, well, do I? Maybe you do. For some of you, hear them out. But, for some of you, you may have to accept that someone's had enough, because this can be someone leaving you behind, and you, while there's a loss and a sadness, maybe it's like they're going to tell you, you didn't put in the effort. You were being too selfish. You know, I'm tired of being disappointed with you. So the advice is to let them go in that case with the Eight of Cups. So, but I think for most of you, this is someone who, unfortunately, is just never going to live up to your expectations. Now, what must be accepted? You've got the Two of Pentacles, which is actually the Two of Oysters in this deck. So this is juggling your money, juggling your finances. You may be finding it a month with the Five of Oysters in reverse again. It's kind of going back to that. Now, if you have a family, it may be that it's like, okay, the kids need this, I need a new, you know, and I'm trying to plan for this move or this car, or to send this kid to college, or, you know, and somebody may have to lower their expectations. And, you know, in some cases it may be you, Gemini. Maybe you're being too selfish. Like, I'm going to, you know, maybe you and your partner both work, and, you know, you're trying to send the kids to college or whatever, but you're wanting to keep some money you're wanting to buy this flashy new car instead of put it in the kids' college fund or something like that, you know. And this is about compromise too sometimes. It's like, you know, It's not all about you. But I feel like for most of you, it's someone else kind of maybe trying to, and maybe it's one of your kids. Like, you know, I'm only going to this the best private school, you know, and you may have to say, well, you are going to have to lower your expectations, because I don't think we're going to be able to send you there. You may have to pick, you know, you got to live within your means. Don't get in over your head. And I think that's what you're trying to explain to someone, and that may be where the complications may come up here in February, Gemini. Some of you may be juggling like 2 jobs, or, you know, again, yeah, working and going to school. And if you have a family or a partner, or it could be that people are feeling left out, and they're like, you know, the pursuit of money is not the be all end all of everything. Actually, spiritually, it's the least important thing while we're here. Spiritually, when you get on the other side, money matter, and what you did with your money doesn't really matter at all. It's all about love and relationships and things like that. So yeah, just either you may be saying that to somebody, like, you know, you're too money hungry, you're too greedy, you're not here with the family, you're not here putting enough time into relationships or our relationship, or somebody could be saying that to you, Gemini. There's something that needs to be balanced, because right now somebody's only thinking of themselves, particularly when it comes to finances or resources. The outcome is the Knight of Peppermills, which is the Knight of Wands in other decks. So yeah, many of you could be dealing with a fire sign, Sag, Aries, or Leo, or someone with those traits in the reverse. He is a selfish energy in the reverse, because that's the number 1 trait of the fire signs in reverse. It's all about them and their wants and needs and desires. And, oh, you have wants and needs and desires? Well, don't have time for that. Gifu is here, indicating that for most of you, this is a mate, a boyfriend. It could be a female too in these general readings. Could just as easily be a female. But yeah, it's all about them. Whoever they are, it's all about them. This doesn't have to be a romantic partnership either. This could be a child. It could be a brother. It could be, you know, anyone that you're dealing with here. But it's someone close to you. Someone you're in a close relationship with, a bond. So yeah, it's kind of take with this person. Maybe with money, maybe with emotions, maybe with, or you feel like it's that way, Gemini. And this is not you. You're an air sign. I mean, unless you are a Gemini with fire rising or a fire moon. But Ingwaz is here indicating that this can be resolved, or you can come to a resolution, but not unless whoever's being all about them, you know, me, and self-centered and narcissistic recognizes that and, you know, agrees to do better. Some of you, this could be this person you're leaving behind. And for many of you, it could be because you've got someone new. Maybe you've already got somebody waiting in the wings here, Gemini. And because Gifu and Ingwaz together are some very, very good love runes. It indicates a wonderful new romance, new relationship with someone else. Now, if it's with the fire sign, if you've already seen these red flags and it's always all about him and where he wants to go and what he wants to do, and, you know, he's obsessed with money, he's a workaholic, he doesn't make time for the relationship, then, you know, I would say February is a time to talk about it. You don't have to talk about it on Valentine's Day. You could wait until after that. But it needs to be addressed. Because, you know, or else it'll never change. But yeah, you need to make it clear that you won't put up with that sort of behavior. Now, Gemini, he could be saying this to you and you're perceiving him as, oh, well, it's all about you. And that's when you may have to be like, well, let me think about that. Have I been It has work been the most important thing to me? Am I always concerned about money? Is that the number one thing that I'm always thinking about? Gotta be honest in these situations, but I feel like for some of you, you are leaving behind someone who has been treating you, you know, not the way you deserve to be treated, and because you've got someone new. And but yeah, if you haven't been dating someone very long and you're seeing some red flags, I mean, you can address it and give them a chance to correct it, but don't stick around too long if it keeps up. Now, for some of you, this could be like you say, I am out of here, I am leaving, and then he comes back, oh, I'm sorry. He or she, I am so sorry, I will do better, makes promises, but because we're ending the reading in the reverse, it seems like he's just saying that to get you back, you know, so, I mean, you'll really have to hold him accountable and you know, for his behavior from then on, if you're going to give somebody a second chance. If you've already given him a second, a third, a 90th chance, I would stick to your guns and just keep going here, Gemini, because it looks like somebody's waiting in the wings, or somebody soon will be appearing, maybe at the end of February, or even as we go into March. Definitely check out your love RuneScope for 2018 over on Vimeo to see if you can get more details about how that pans out. But that's what I see here in the general reading for February, Gemini. Join me over on Vimeo. I will be pulling one card from the Nature's Whispers deck for you. I'm going to see if we can get some more guidance on this situation, more advice spiritually for how you can handle this in the right way that will benefit you. All right, so I will see you over there. That link again is below, and I'll see you back here next month.